आपको चेक करके बता दे कि यूट्यूब पे लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग हो रही है, सही आ रही है।
मैं चेक कर रहा हूँ। जी सही हो रही है।
जी ठीक है सर। और अभी बाकी जो पार्टिसिपेंट आ रहे हैं उनको साथ साथ
जी
ऐड करते जाएं।
सही हो रही है। जी सही हो रही है। ठीक।
को जो है वो करते जाएं। जी ठीक है सर। और अभी बाकी जो पार्टिसिपेंट आ रहे हैं उनको साथ साथ
जी
ऐड करते जाएं।
सही हो रही है। ठीक। ठीक।
को जो है वो करते जाएं। जी ठीक है सर। और अभी बाकी जो पार्टिसिपेंट आ रहे हैं उनको साथ साथ
जी
ऐड करते जाएं।
सही हो रही है।
Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, and all esteemed interns to another session of virtual internship program. A very warm welcome to all of you. I hope you all are doing well. So today marks the beginning of an incredible adventure where we will learn, grow, and explore the world of our respective fields. I hope you guys are learning so much through this platform and developing your skills. Today is another session of virtual internship program, and we will discuss in this session topic evaluation of food standards, ensuring quality and safety. So without further ado, I will introduce our guest speaker, Sir Junaid bin Shakil, a member of Sindh Food Authority. He will expertise his experience and give knowledge to this topic. Let's make the most of this opportunity to connect with the fellow interns and set the stage for a successful and enriching internship experience. Thank you for being a part of this journey that makes it memorable, and hope you guys learn and grow and develop your skills for this session. Thank you, sir. Now you can continue.
Thank you very much, Ms. Inshira. So, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. And welcome to the second session of the internship program for the processing and preservation professionals. So, those who don't know, or you are hearing me first time, my name is Junaid bin Shakil, and it is an honor to stand before you today as we embark this journey of acknowledge growth and innovation in the fields of the food standards. So, uh, my qualification, or you can say my certifications. I am a BRCGS professionals, along with a lot of titles of lead auditor, such as in a BRCGS, which is a Global Food Safety Issue version 9. I have also earned and FSCC 20000 along with HACCP lead auditor courses, and as well as a lot of proficiencies in the various ISO standard. So in today's session, we will dive into the different variations of how the food standards have been evolved. So I'm excited to have you all today on board with for this remarkable journey. So let's start. Our today's session is on the food standards, how they have evolved. So before further, let's start with this session. I hope you can hear my voice and it is clear to you. Let me know if my voice is clear now or not. Okay. So, what is food standards and what is the role of a food standard in our today's world? So, food standard plays you can say a very important role in ensuring the safety and quality of the food that we consume, right? So, they are the bedrock upon which the entire food industry is built, providing a framework for the production, handling, and distribution of the food products. So, uh, these standards are, you can say, not designed accordingly, but they vary upon different countries and different facilities of the food products. They're specially designed and constantly evolving to meet the ever-changing demands of the global food market. So, in a world where the food travels across the borders and oceans, where consumers have a diverse preferences and dietary needs, or where the stakes for the food safety and sustainability are higher than ever. So the importance of the food standards cannot be overestimated. They serve as a universal language that bridges the gap in understanding and expectations, uniting the producers, regulators, and consumers in a common commitment to food safety and quality. So this was a little bit of introduction of what are the food standards along with the food safety and how crucial and important they are in our life, in a daily life. So um, what food standards are different types of, you can say, uh, you can say ensuring the quality, ensuring the consumers health. First of all, if the food standards were not to exist, we cannot even have a future in a food field, or the food industry cannot be established without the food standards. So food standards are different, which are being you can say governed by the production, whereas labeling, whereas the uh, packaging is there, where your products are there, but they are based upon the rules and regulations. So why are the food standards are really important, and what you can say they play a role in being so important for us? So see, food standards have a paramount importance for several reasons. Let's just say, for the safety assurance in food standards, they are designed to ensure that the food we consume is safe for the human consumption. Also, they establish the guidelines for everything from food handling, storage, and transportation to the use of the additives and contentments, also minimizing the risk of the foodborne illness diseases and chemical hazards, or you can say uh, all of the hazards, which could be the allergens, the chemical, the physical, the biological, the microbiological, anyone, any of four of these. So food standards are also important because they maintains the quality control, where the food standards set the parameters for the quality of the food products, including the attributes like taste, texture, appearance, and nutritional content. So this ensures that the consumers receive the products that meet the expectations, while also promoting the trust in the food supply. So consumers protection is also there. Who are the consumers? We are the consumers, the normal people, the common people. So standards act like a shield for the consumers by providing a clear and accurate information about the products they purchase. So this could include the labeling requirements that indicate the ingredients, allergens, and nutrition values that empowers the consumers to make the informed choices. So they play a also important role in ensuring the environmental protection as well. So food standards often incorporate the sustainability and the environmental considerations. So they may include the guidelines for being responsible source for reducing the waste or minimizing the environmental impact of the food production and distribution. So overall, we understood in this part of the slide that the food standard provides a comprehensive framework that benefits the consumers, producers, and a broader community by safeguarding the public health and supporting the trade innovations and upholding the quality and safety of the food we eat. They are very important and critical component of the sustainable and responsible food system. So the role of the government in the food standard is multifaceted and is essential for ensuring the safety, quality, and integrity of the food supply. So in this part of the presentation, we'll discuss different type of roles that the government plays. So first, the regulatory framework. Governments usually establish the legal and regulatory framework for the food standards. This includes creating and enforcing the laws and regulations that mandate the adherence to the specific food safety and quality standards. Whereas the standard development is also there, in which the government agencies or departments often take part in developing and setting the food standards, working in collaboration with the industry experts and scientific institutions, as we call also. And also there could be international organizations as well, because these standards serve as a foundation for the food industry. So the enforcement is the main role of the government in the food standards. Why? Because the government enforces the food standards by conducting inspections, audits, and testing of the food products and production facilities. They have the authority to take the action against the non-compliance, including issuing fines, product recalls, and closure of establishments that pose a threat to the public health. So monitoring and surveillance is also there. In the government agencies engage in ongoing monitoring and surveillance of the food supply to identify the potential risks and contamination and the outbreak of the foodborne illness diseases. They track and investigate the incident and implement the preventive measures. So there would be a role of a government in the consumers protection as well, where the government regulations often require a clear and accurate food labeling to protect the consumers. Just for example, as they say that if a product has you can say um, an ingredients of the food allergens, and a person who has an allergy to specific product eats it because it was not properly labeled, and let's just expect the worst scenario, he dies, and after consuming the product which has allergens within it and it was not properly mentioned. So what happens that then the government seizes the facility, and there could be a very I can say serious consequences for the organization, where it could be the law, it could be a heavy fine or a permanent ban from the food industry as well. So Import and export also, there could be a government regulates the import and export of the food products to ensure that they meet the domestic and international standards, because the government helps to maintain the quality and safety of the imported products and the foster international trade and the relationships. So overall, what we understood in the government's role, that its role in the food standards is crucial for safeguarding the public health, supporting the industry compliance, and maintaining the integrity of the food supply. Sorry. So effective regulations and enforcement are vital in ensuring the food standards are met and that the consumers can trust the safety and quality of the food they consume. Okay. Let's discuss the role of the international organizations in the food standards. So international organizations also play a vital role in the development and you can say stabilization of the food standards on a global scale. So these organizations facilitate the cooperations among the countries and ensure the food standards are consistent and widely accepted. So development of the international standards such as the Codex Alimentarius Commissions and developing the international food standard guidelines, codes of the practice. These standards cover various aspects of the food safety, quality, and labeling of the standards. So harmonization, what would be that? It would be that international organizations work to harmonize the food standards across the country. So the harmonization ensures that the food products can be traded internationally without facing a maze of different and conflicting regulations. Whereas the promotion of the best practices is usually found in the international organizations in food standards, where these organizations promote the adaptation of the best practices in the food safety and quality management based on the scientific evidence. They provide the guidance on the processes and production methods and the control measures. Let me know if I'm a little bit fast, or should I slow down a little bit? Is it okay to understand? Am I fast enough or should I slow down? Okay. Okay, so international organizations in a food standard also plays a role in the risk assessment. How? See, international organizations conduct risk assessments related to the food safety and communicate their findings to the member countries. So the information helps the government to make the informed decisions regarding the food safety measures. Whereas the capacity building in many international organizations, they provide a technical assistant and capacity building the programs to help to the countries strengthen their food safety infrastructure, regulatory systems, and inspecting capabilities. So what we understood in this part of this uh, part of the slide, that the international organization in food standards provides, or you can say it is involved in providing the Codex Alimentarius Commission, which is jointly managed by the WHO, World Health Organization, and the Food and the Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, and the World Trade Organization, WTO, as well, and the regional bodies like European Food Safety Authorities. We call it as EFSA in Europe. So international organizations always play a very important role in promoting the global food safety standard, where facilitating the international trade, ensuring that the food standards are based on science and best practices. Their work benefits the consumers uh, and producers as well, and the governments worldwide by creating a more consistent and reliable food supply chain. Okay. So now we have understood the roles. Now we'll understand the different types of food standards, where it could be in labeling, where it could be in quality. We'll discuss one by one. if you have any questions regarding what I am speaking and what we are going through this session, please note them down. After the second session is over today, we will keep a question answer session at the end. So please try to note them down and do ask me at the end. I will be happy to assist you. So food safety standards are a set of regulations and guidelines established to ensure that the food products are safe for the consumption. So these standards are designed to prevent the foodborne illness diseases and protect the public health as well. Where could be their microbial safety? Or sorry, let me rephrase it with the microbiological safety, because these standards addresses the presence of the harmful or microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, and parasites in the food. They set the limits on the acceptable levels of the pathogens and establish procedures for controlling and reducing their presence. Whereas the chemical safety is also there, because the food safety standards cover the presence of the harmful chemicals, including pesticide, food additives, preservatives, and contaminants. So they specify the acceptable limits and maximize the residues levels for these substances. Whereas the allergen control is there, as I mentioned earlier, because the standards require a proper labeling to identify the common allergens in the food products, because this helps the consumers with allergies to make the informed choices and avoid potential harmful ingredients, which may result to a very serious condition or health condition. So food additives in the regulations of the food safety standards. So the use of the food additives such as colorings, preservatives, flavors, enhancers, ensuring that they are safe for the consumption within the specified limit. So the food safety standards require a limit of adding the food additives in a products, where you cannot add beyond the limit which is mentioned, or you can say which is the set of principles which are authorized by the international food safety standards. So food packaging and storage, in which the standards cover the materials and design of the food packaging, is to prevent the contamination and maintain the quality of the food. They also establish the guidelines for the safe storage practices to prevent the spoilage and maintain the food quality. Whereas the temperature control is concerned, the food safety standards set requirements for the temperature at which the food is stored, prepared, and transported to prevent the bacterial growth and ensure that the perishable products remain safe. So, ensuring the compliance with the food safety standards is critical to prevent the foodborne illness and protect the public health. So, producers, manufacturers, and retailers, along with the regulatory authorities, all have a role to play in ensuring and enforcing these standards to maintain the safety and quality of the food supply chain and the food safety standards. Okay, we have discussed what were the food safety standards. Now we are moving on to the food quality standards. So food quality standards are a set of the criteria and regulations that define the desired attributes and characteristics of the food products to ensure they meet the specific quality expectations. So these standards cover various aspects of the food quality, including the taste, appearance, texture, nutritional content, and much more. So we will discuss one by one what are the food quality standards and how they play a very important role in ensuring our all consumers' health. So appearance, first of all, discuss about a little bit of experience in the food quality standards, where they often include requirements related to the appearance of the food products. This can encompass the criteria such as the color, size, shape, and overall visual appearance of the food. So the texture would be the second one to discuss, because the food quality standards may specify the desired texture of the food products, ensuring it meets the consumer's expectations. For example, bread should be in a certain level of softness and crispiness. So text and flavor in the quality standard, which is defined as the expected taste and flavor must profile of the food products, because it ensures that they are the consistent and meet the consumer's preference as well. The important one should be the aroma, because the aromatic properties of the food, such as their smell or fragrance, for those who don't know what I'm referring to the aroma. So they may be included in the quality standards to enhance the overall sensory experience. And the last one I would like to discuss, all last two or three I would like to discuss, there would be the storage and shelf life, because standards may include guidelines for storage conditions and recommended shelf life to maintain the product quality and safety. Whereas the food quality in packaging, the regulations often specify the requirements for the food packaging materials and the design to preserve the quality of the food products and protect it from the contamination as well. And the labeling and the claims in the food quality standards often dictate the accuracy of labeling, including the claims related to the quality of the attributes of the product, such as the organic, natural, or gluten-free. So what we understood in the food quality standards, that they, or you can say these quality standards can vary by product type, region, or the specific goals of the regulatory authorities. So they are critical for ensuring that the consumers receive the food products that meet their expectation and quality requirements, while maintaining the integrity of the food supply chain. Okay. So a little bit of you can say before we move further, I want to make a few things clear, that if you are listening to the uh, today's session, please be very focused, because the next task will be given according to the things or the different types of scenarios which I am speaking currently. So please let me know if you have any questions at the end, but try to be more attentive and focused on what I'm speaking and also what I'm displaying on the slides as well. Okay, so food labeling standards. Let's discuss about a little bit of that. What are the labeling standards? They are a set of regulation and guidelines that governs the information provided on the food product labels. So these standards are designed to ensure the consumers receive the accurate and clear information about the contents, nutritional value, and the safety of the food they purchase. So we'll discuss one by one what are the importance of the food labeling standards in the food standards. So first of all, let's discuss the ingredient list, where the labeling standards require a list of all ingredients used in the product, where with the most you can say predominant ingredient list first. So this helps the consumers to identify the potential allergens and make informed choices. Allergen declaration is the most important, because labels must clearly highlight the common allergens such as peanut trees, nuts, milk, wheat, fish, saw, and shellfish when they are presented in the product, or if they are present in the product. So nutritional fact panels, because this panel provides information on the nutritional content of the products, including the serving size, calories, and macronutrients that are present in the products. Let's for this say example, the fat, carbohydrates, and protein, vitamin, minerals, and other relevant nutrients which are present, they should be properly mentioned on the nutritional facts. So because it helps the consumers to access the nutritional value of the product. So expiration date and use by date is also there, because label often includes a date of you can say expiration and the production, which indicates when the product is safe to consume and best enjoyed for the quality purpose. So net weight in the volume is also very important in a food labeling standard, because the label must specify the quality of the product, typically in standard units such as the grams, ounces, liter, or fluid ounces. Country origin. Labeling standards may require the product's country of the origin to be disclosed to inform the consumers about the product source. So instruction for use could be the last, where the label may include the cooking or preparation instructions to ensure that the consumer handle and prepare the product safely and correctly. So, and the serving size, because the label should provide the information on the recommended serving size, allowing the consumers to understand how the nutritional information relates to their consumption as well. So what we understood in this part of slide, that the compliance with the food labeling standard is essential to protect the consumers from allergens, along with providing the accurate nutritional information and prevent misleading claims. Excuse me. So these standards also have to maintain the transparency and consumers' trust in the food industry as well. Okay. Let's discuss what could be the challenges. We have studied all of the different types of scenarios and the roles and the quality and safety and labeling. All of these we have gone through by studying them and discussing them. So what will be the challenges now? So challenges in the food standards are very numerous, and mm, they usually reflect the you can say the complexity of ensuring the safety, quality, and integrity of the global food supply. So globalization of the food supply, because as the um food supply chain becomes increasingly global, coordinating and harmonizing the food standards across different countries and regions. It can be challenging because different regulation and enforcement mechanisms can could lead to some bad, or you can say low type of scenarios in the food safety and quality. Where is the emerging of the foodborne pathogens are also there, because new and evolving foodborne pathogens as well as antibiotic resistant strains of existing pathogens possesses a challenge for the food safety standards. But adopting the standards to address these emerging threats is essential. Supply chain being more complex, because modern food supply chains are complex with multiple intermediaries involved in the production, processing, and distribution of the food products, ensuring that the safety and the quality of the food at every step of the supply chain is a very, can say, important challenge for the food industry in the standards of the food. Food fraud and is also there, because the adulteration and mislabeling and can say of the food products can undermine the food standards. Regulatory agencies must continually involve to detect and prevent the food fraud. It could be a very big challenge. So consumers awareness and education is the most important part in my point of view, because ensuring that the consumers are aware of the food standards and can make the informed choices is a challenge, because consumers education is vital to promote the food safety and quality, first of all, because it allows the consumers to make a very informed decisions about their health or according to their health. So there, the last one would I end with is could be the foodborne outbreaks and recalls, in which responding to and managing the foodborne illness, diseases, outbreaks, and product recalls are ongoing challenges in the food standards, and effective crisis management is essential in it. So addressing these challenges requires collaboration between the governments, regulatory agencies, the food industries, scientific organizations, and consumers advocates. Because it is important, or can say a very important commitment to continuous improvement in the food standards to keep the pace with evolving risk and technological advancement. Okay, so those who are continuously asking or sharing their number, or can say for the attendance, please have some patience, The attendance will be provided at the end of the session. Thank you. Okay, let's move further. You see, the future of the food standard is likely to be shaped by the variety of the food products and trends. While predicting the exact course of development is challenging, I can anticipate several key directions. Let's just discuss one by one. Technology integration, in which the advancements in technology such as blockchain, lot, and data analytics will play a significant role in food standards. These technologies will enhance the traceability, transparency, and real-time monitoring of the food supply chain. Digital and smart labels and QR codes on the food packaging will provide consumers with instant access to detailed information about the product origins, safety, and environmental impacts. This type of practices, which I just mentioned, the smart labels is being adopted by a lot of countries where a product has uh, we can say a QR code in different types of products in which is I can say made like a label. So if they scan the QR code, it could be a very brief information about the product, which cannot be unfortunately printed on the label because of the space or limited space. So that's why this is the best one which is being adopted by a lot of countries. So sustainability and environmental concerns, where the food standards will increasingly incorporate sustainability and environmental factors, including the guidelines being responsible source and reduction of the food waste and the footprint of the labeling. Food safety insurance in the future will see more emphasis on proactive approaches to the food safety, including the uh, productive analytics and artificial intelligence to prevent the foodborne illness diseases. So, health and wellness in nutritional standards may involve to better reflect and the importance of the health of the consumer, including the mental health and well-being in the addition of the traditional nutritional values. So, AI and automation in the inspection. I am discussing a little bit in detail of the future of the food standard because uh, some of you are new here and may not be familiar what would be the future of the food standard. So, in order for you to move further, please try to focus what I am discussing in the future, because these the standards in the future may help you to study right now. If you are studying it right now and working on it, it would be a very beneficial you can say step for you in your various fields in which you are. So AI in automation and inspection, the use of artificial intelligence in the automation and the food inspection will also become a very prevalent in enhancing efficiencies and effectiveness of the quality control as well, which requires a global cooperation, because the global nature of the food supply chain with greater collaboration among countries, international organization and industry stakeholders to address the cross-border challenges effectively would be helpful. Whereas the future of the food standards will be marked by the adaptability, innovation, and responsiveness of emerging challenges, including those related to the food safety, technology, and sustainability, while shifting the consumer preference. So these standards will continue to be a very important part of the food industry, and also ensuring that the safety, quality, and the integrity of the food supply chain is in ever-changing world. So let's discuss a little bit on what with the benefits of ensuring that the food standards are up to the mark. So ensuring the food safety standards offers a wide range of benefits, as we all know, as we have all gone through it. So public health and safety, in which the food safety are primarily designed to protect the public health. They help to prevent the foodborne illness diseases by establishing the guidelines for the food or safe food handling, processing, and distribution of the food. Consumers' confidence is also there, because when the consumer purchase the food products, they ensure, or you can say they can trust that they meet the established safety and quality criteria of the product they are purchasing. So this confidence is crucial for maintaining the consumer trust and satisfaction in the food industry. Whereas the allergen management, I am highlighting again because it's the most important part in the food standard, where it could be labeling in the ingredient or anyhow. But the food standards require a clear labeling and control of the allergens in the food products, protecting the individuals with food allergies from potentially life-threatening reactions. So the what could be more international collaboration would be there, because international standards foster the cooperation among the countries, reducing the duplication of the efforts and facilitating the consistency in food safety and quality on the global scale. And preventing approaches in the standards encourages a proactive approach to food safety, where promoting the methods like HACCP, hazard analysis critical control point, to identify and uh, reduce the risk of the potential hazards in the food production. So overall, ensuring that the food standard benefits the consumers, producers, and regulatory authorities by safeguarding the public health and supporting the industry's compliance, promoting the responsible practices, and maintaining the integrity of the food supply. So these benefits collectively contribute to a safer and more reliable and sustainable food system. Okay, so what could be the examples of the food, you can say, successful food safety standards? So HACCP could be a one. For those who don't know what is HACCP, it is a systematic approach in identifying and preventing the food safety hazards in the production process. The second one would be successful example of the food safety in standards would be the Codex Alimentarius, where it is all for those who don't know. I will give a little bit of a briefing on it. That this part is established by the WHO and the World Health Organization and the FAO, the Food and Agriculture Organization. These two have joined together and developed this international food standards and guidelines and the codes of the practice. So these standards also have played a very important role in providing a food regulation worldwide. Different types of ISO standards. Let's just discuss the one currently. ISO 20000 is also one of the best examples of the successful food standards, because international standard for the food safety management system, ISO, it has been a successful in helping the organization across the food supply chain, ensuring the safety of the products and comply with the regulatory requirements. Okay, so um, furthermore, I would like to add, let's say, FSMA, the Food Safety Modernization Act. Not particularly in our country or the Asian countries, but in the United States, the FSMA has modernized food safety regulations and shifted to the focus from responding to foodborne illness diseases to preventing them, because it emphasizes the risk-based standards and preventive controls as well. So FSSC 20000, for those who don't know what is FSSC, it is the Food Safety System Certifications. FSSC 20000 is a global food safety certification scheme that combines the ISO 20000 and sector-specific prerequisite programs. It has become widely accepted, and it is used to demonstrate the commitment to the food safety, and it is also one of the very best examples of the successful food standards. So what we have, or you can say what we understood in this part, in part of the presentation, that these successful food standards have improved food safety and quality and transparency, of facilitating trade, protecting the public health, and promoting and responsible sustainable food production and consumption. They have been critical in building the consumers' trust for a safer and more reliable food supply chain. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so what could be the cost for not ensuring the food safety standards? See, when we discuss about not ensuring the food standards, first of all, it goes directly to the consumer's health, which could lead uh, to, you can say, the public health. It may result in a, you can say, death in the worst scenarios, but the organization's loss of the name and you can say uh, the future of the industry, or you can say the organizations which is not ensuring the food safety standards would no longer be available in the food world or the food standards world. Because if either one person dies, the name, or you can say, is compromised, because a lot of people will say, uh, we ate from XYZ restaurant, or we our someone XYZ relative uh, consumed the product, and he went to these different types of diseases, and he's still suffering from it. So the name of the organization of the facility will be the, you can say, the most affected if something happens to the public health. So whether it could be the mislabeling, misinformation, you can say misleading information on the product, and if the foodborne illness disease is found in your product in the lab, it could be, you can say, a very, you can say, big loss in the name of the facility of the organization, which is trying to compete in the market along with its competitors. So ensuring it would be the best in order to be successful. Okay, so this part would be for your the task. I have added this one to actually uh, discuss with you before sharing in the task. It would be the part of the task, but it not entirely task. So you have to cover the studies of the successful and unsuccessful food standards implementations. Example, you can, if you want the example for it, you can read out this. The example will include the 2018 Chinese milk scandal and the 2011 the European E. coli outbreak. So I will share the slides in the group, so you can read out this slide. It will help you uh, in supporting, or you can say finishing your task more easily. Okay. So this would be the conclusion, that the food safety standard is crucial for protecting the public health and promoting the fair trade practices, along with different types of food standards while facing the challenges and implementing them. So the best could I say this is for the collaboration, because the collaboration is the main key towards the success of anything in the food standards. So the future also depends on the collaboration as well. But it could be between the government, between the international organization, between the food producers, between the food consumers. It could be anything, but the collaboration should stay the first priority in the food standards. So with this, we come to an end to today's second session of the internship program. So if you have any questions, you may ask me in the chat, because uh, it could be a very, you can say, mix up of the voices if you go through the voice. So try to ask me in the chat. I am here. Yes, yes, I will provide the slides. Okay, someone asked me. Okay, so Mr. Let me just see the name. Somebody is Mr. Hosera. So FSSC 20,000 is a global food safety certification scheme that combines ISO 20,000 and sector-specific prerequisite programs. Okay, so before asking the question, please mark your attendance. First of all, it would be the best that you mark your attendance first, then ask the question in the chat box. I am here. I'll be here. So no need to panic. Okay, somebody asked, can you, what is the difference uh, in best before and use by in expired? See, the main differences between the best before and expiry dates is in what they indicate about the product. So, best before is the date that is primarily used for the non-perishable foods and some long-lasting perishable items. It signifies, let's just say, the date until which the product is expected to remain at its optimal quality, flavors, and texture beyond this date. So the quality may start to degrade, but the product is still safe to confuse. In other words, let me explain that if the date is mentioned that it is best before, you can consume it after it as well. But the quality would not be up to the mark. Whereas you are mentioning about the expiry date, that if the product is expired, the the consumer cannot consume it, and it would be very harmful to the health. This will be the main difference between two. Okay, so I hope that would be answer to your question. Okay, so somebody has asked, what is FSMA? The FSMA stands for Food Safety Modernization Act. It is a significant, you can say, a piece of legislation in the United States that was signed into the law in 2011. You are very welcome. Thank you very much. Hmm. Okay, so somebody asked to explain that what would be the climate change as a challenge in implementing the food standards. See, changing the production condition would be, you can say, a challenge, because the climate change can lead to an altered growing condition for the crops and livestock, whereas the food safety risk could be a challenge. Water quality and quantity would be a big challenge. Supply chain distributions would be there. Crop diversity would be a very big challenge in the climate change. Food packaging and preservation would be a challenge, because as the temperature rises and the storage and the preservation of the food have become more critical. So these could be the challenges that could come in the climate change, or they are occurring right now actually. Okay, sir, can you just elaborate what is... Okay, so you are asking about the Codex Alimentarius. It is referred to as Codex because it is a collection of international food standards, guidelines, and codes of practices developed by the Codex Alimentarius Commission. So let me just give you a little bit brief about it also. See, the primary purpose of this codex is to protect the public health of consumers and ensure the fair practices in the international trade of the food products are there. Okay, so Muhammad, you are asking which standards our local authorities follow. So this is a very critical question, Mr. Muhammad. Our local authorities actually have implemented the uh, type of food standards, but God knows what type of standards they are following right now. But ISO 901, FSCC 20000, ISO 901, uh, some organizations have adopted in implementing the BRC standards, but they are very few in just in numbers, like top 5, top 10. No, it could not be go to the top 10. Let's keep it to top 5, but it's not much in our region. Yes, if you want to leave, you can leave. But please be sure to mark your attendance, please. See, the challenge in the prices change could be more on the country, can say, infrastructure and economical status, because the prices changes more oftenly due to the country's economical growth, and if it's increasing or decreasing, it would directly affecting it will affect the changes in the pricing of the food standard. Let's just say, for example, currently the price for is just one example. I'm not actually targeting any certification body or industry, but let's just say, for example, there is a very famous fast food chain. Okay, they are implementing FSSA 20000 standard, food standard, and currently it's costing them $10 annually. Now, just say that the country goes through a little bit of economic crisis, so that $10 would be changed to $15 automatically, depending, but it would be changing, it would be increasing because of the country's economic situation. Let's just say that the economic situation of the country is getting better, so that $10 would be decreased to $9 or $8. So that's how it will be more, you can say, a challenge in the country's economic situation rather than in the challenge in the pricing of the food standard, because the food standard price would be the same, but if the country's economic situation is getting worse or good, it would be more effective on it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so okay, so those who want to leave, they can leave, and those who want to ask the questions, they can stay. I am answering one by one because there is a lot of questions, so it will take time to reach to your question, but eventually I will answer all. So there is a question that can you please tell the history of the HACCP, like how it came to the food standards? See, uh, the HACCP was developed in 1950s as a collaborative effort between there was a company, let me recall my memory, Pillsbury. Yeah, there was a effective, or can say, and very collaborative effort between the Pillsbury company. It was the US Aeronautics and the Space Administration, as we known as NASA, and the US Army laboratories. So the aim was to ensure that the food safety for the astronauts during space missions. So NASA played a significant role in the early development of the HACCP because they needed a system to ensure that the food prepared for the space mission was safe. So, as the foodborne illness diseases could be a very harmful in the confined environment of the spacecraft. So the HACCP system was further developed and, can say, modified or codified in the late 1950s or in early 1960s, but it was initially used by the food industries to produce the safe food for the space missions only, but was later recognized as a valuable approach in for the food standard in general. So I know it could be a shocking that it was actually developed for the astronauts in the NASA, but now it has so we have also there with it. Okay, Miss Ariba, what you would like to know about the halal standard? Yes, many industries are adopting the ISO 20000 in halal standard, but the halal standard could not be actually labeled as a food safety standard. But anyhow, it is labeling as it is a halal standard because it's only for the Muslim countries, and it ensures that the product the consumer is consuming is halal only. Okay, Miss Laiba, see the batch before and the expired date differences would be that. See, if you are purchasing a bread and it is written as best before, let's just say what's the date today, could be more specific in the example. See, today is 15 of October. So if the date is mentioned best before 15 of October, but it is still on the shelf in the market, right? So what could be the best before that? You can still consume it. It not could not be harmful, but I'm not telling you to consume it after 1 week or 2 week or the best before. I'm just telling within the 1, 2, or 3 days only. It would be what will be the consequences? The quality of the bread would be not as up to the mark as they have mentioned that best before. But if we talk about the expiry date, if it is mentioned that the expiry date is 15 of October, it is totally harmful for the consumer to eat it because it is expired. It is not up to the mark for the consumer to eat it. So you cannot eat it. This is the main difference. You are very much welcome. Okay, any more questions? So the task information in the task will be shared in the group. I will share it shortly. So be prepared for it. You will have like a week for it. So you are asking about the global food chain? See, food blockchain often is referred to as food chain or blockchain in the food industry. But it is a technology that uses the blockchain to enhance the transparency, tra- traceability, and safety of the food supply chain. So transparency and traceability is also there because the blockchain provides a technology where the food information about the food products can be recorded. Okay, can you give me a minute? I'll be back. Okay, sorry for the interruption. I hope it was clear for the last participant who have asked the question. Did you understand the blockchain? Okay. If you still have any questions and you would like to ask me further, you can contact me personally on the WhatsApp and I will answer them anytime. There is no time requirements. You can ask me at the very midnight and the very much morning. I will answer them as soon as possible. I get the hands on my phone. Okay. So let's conclude today's session. Mr. Azim, I guess we should stop it now. And thank you all for attending today's session. I hope it was enjoyable and understandable session today. So until then, please take care of yourself, be healthy, and have a good evening and night today. So let's